Hey everyone, this is Steve, and today we're going to be showing you how to work with messy data in Gigasheet. So Gigasheet is optimized to handle giant data sets, but the nature of giant data sets is they tend to be a little messy. You have mismatched columns, you have misaligned values, you have values that were just typed in incorrectly. But often files have been combined, files have been fused together in some way, and the data is not always perfect. But in Gigasheet, you can work with that. So today I'm anonymizing a workflow run by one of our customers. This customer works on the product team, and they had just run a couple sales promotions. The CEO came to them and said, in the country with the most sales, which promotion had the best impact? And that's actually two questions then. Which country had the most sales? And then in that country, which promotion had the most impact? The data was in Databricks, so we used the Databricks connector to bring the data in. We could have just as easily gotten this data from Snowflake, from Salesforce, from HubSpot. It just happened to be in Databricks. And so I'm going to start with the retail transaction report. So this file is 16.5 million rows of retail transaction data, and I'm trying to find out which country had the most sales. But the problem I immediately run into is that the country is a number, not the country name. But I do have this ISO codes table with the number, and I actually know that row number in this ISO codes table represents the number here in the retail transaction report. So what I have to do is I have to do a lookup. So that's as simple as going to insert cross-file VLOOKUP, choose the column that I want to do a lookup on. This is, in this case, country. I'm going to find that ISO codes table. I'm going to look up based on the row number, and I'm going to bring back the country name. So I know that if I go over to that table again, this represents the lookup column. This is the name that I want to bring back, this ISO 3166 name. So I'm going to match country number to the row number and bring back the name. When I press apply, it'll just take a second, but really quickly I'm going to do a lookup on 16.5 million rows. And there it is. So I can see like country 92 is Germany. If I go here, I see that 92 is Germany. That's how I brought back Germany. So we've got our country, we've got we can scroll through and see specifically every one of these countries. I can make this 1,000 rows and see some non-Germany results here. Wow, they're all German. So there you go, 255 United Kingdom, and so on. And what we can do now is look at how we're going to do this roll-up. And we see that there, as we scroll through, we see there is a price column. If I do a sum on this price column, I'll see the total sum across the entire 16.5 million rows. But if I go back to this name column and group, I'll now see the price column has been aggregated for me, and I get my answer. I see that, maybe unsurprisingly after that scroll, that Germany has $582 million in sales. The UK has 82, Benin, amazingly, has 17 million. The Cayman Islands have 11 million. So there's our answer. Germany is the top-selling country in this data set. Part 1, success. Dealt with the strange country code, did a quick grouping, did a quick aggregation. There we go. So let's move over to our online sales. And we'll go to our online sales because what we're trying to do now is determine the impact of our recent promos. Okay, so opening up this file, I see that we've got 25 million records here. And just scrolling through, I see we've got an invoice date. We've got a country, which is good. We're going to have to filter down to Germany. That's where we want to do our analysis. We have a quantity, seeing how many there are. We have a unit price, which I notice is actually a text column, not a number column, which is kind of interesting. We've also got a cohort. And being on the product team, I know that it's specifically cohorts 3 and 6 that had the online sales promotion that we care about. So knowing that we care about 3 and 6, what I'm actually going to do is create a column label with an if-then. So going to insert if-then, we're going to call this promo type. And if cohort equals 3, then I know that that was a Google ad. And also, we'll say if cohort equals 6, that was a mailer promo. And everyone else had no promo. So really simply, looking at that cohort, if the value equals group 3, that was a Google Ads promo. If the value was group 6, that was a mailer promo, otherwise no promo. Just look through that 25 million rows and quickly label those columns for me. Press insert, and it should just take a second. And there it is. So it is finished, and I scroll through here and I see my new promo type column with no promo for anything but 6 and 3, mailer promo for group 6, and Google Ads promo for group 3. So I now have a column with a much clearer label of what each of these cohorts mean. So now that I've got my very clean promo type column, I'm going to deal with this unit price column, which I see came in as text. And if I just start scrolling through the values, like scroll way down into the values just to see what's going on here, I start seeing there's a bunch of dates. And so what I think happened is that dates got mixed up in the unit price column, and so we just picked the whole thing up as text. The easiest way to deal with this is by just changing the data type. So if I go to data, change data type, and I take that unit price column, and I make that just a number, specifically I'll make it a decimal, and press apply. I want to convert this, yes. What this is going to do is it's going to take a number where there's a number and make it a number, and if it's not a number, it's going to leave it as blank. So I'll be able to deal specifically with the fields where that data is correct, and I can just disregard the rows where that unit price is garbage. And there we go. So I now see, in fact, the previous one has been hidden as unit price as plain text. But I could see that this is now a number column, and the easiest way to get rid of the blanks now is to filter on this. I can just press filter, and I can choose that unit price column, which is now a number, where that is not empty. So when I press is not empty, I see that I'm down to about 25.5 of the 25.6 million rows. So we got rid of quite a few fields that were absolute garbage. I'm going to hide that unit price as plain text now since I don't need it. So now we've got a handy number column to work off of. So we've got our promo type column and our unit price column. Now we can finally start answering the question. To answer our question, we got to build out this filter a little bit more. Obviously, we know from part 1 of this video that the country we care about equals Germany. We know that the invoice date, we're only going to care about the last few months here. We're going to say after May 1st. And then we also are going to filter out those promo types where the promo type is no promo. We only care about the mailer promo and the Google Ads promo. So the people who didn't get a promotion, we're going to filter those out. Country equals Germany, only the recent data, get rid of the no promos. Let's see what we're down to. Press apply. And really quickly, I'm down to just 17,000 of the 26 million rows in this data set. The final thing we have to do here is actually calculate the sales volume. We have unit price and we have quantity, but we actually need to get quantity times unit price. It's easy enough to create that volume. All I have to do is come in here and I'm going to do volume. I'm actually going to call it sales volume. And it's going to be simply quantity. Press start typing in and it picks up those column names times unit price. I want to make sure I use the number. And I'm also going to use the formula round to make sure that I only get 2 decimal places. The formula validates. I'm going to do quantity times unit price. I'm going to round that to 2 decimal places and press add column. And so we see this new sales volume column that we can now do some calculations on. See, it's only 2 decimals. Otherwise multiplying 11 by 5.79 would have quite a long decimal. In fact, what we can even do is we can come up here to format and mark this column as currency. My sales volume column can be applied as currency, and there we go. All right, so now that we have our sales volume in our handy currency format, we can start doing some groupings to get our answer. So what we can do first is we're going to group by promo code, promo type I should say, and that will give me the Google Ads promo and the mailer promo group. And what I can further do is break it down by date. I'm going to use this invoice date and have the date function be the month. So it will roll up all those values into a month-by-month basis. I can use that sales volume and I could just do a sum. In fact, I could just hide I can hide everything and just choose the ones that I care about, which is that sales volume. And I see the top line trends. And if I click down into it, I could see the month-by-month values, how much was spent per month on Google Ads promos and on mailer promos. Knowing that these promotions started in June, with May being essentially the control, we see that the Google Ads promo, the cohort in the Google Ads promo, actually went down, and the mailer promo went up. Google Ads promo went from $120,000 to $105,000. The mailer promo went from $117,000 to $151,000. Clearly, the mailer promo helped, the Google Ads promo didn't. And navigating all of those data potholes to get here, first, the weird lookup because the retail transaction report didn't have the country, so we had to bring in that country. And then having, in this data set, having to create the label of what kind of promo they are getting, and then having to create a new column by filtering out all of that bad data within the unit price, and then having to create a sales volume column with some simple math, we get to that answer. This data lived in Databricks, but without having to write any SQL, without having to write any Python, a product analyst was able to get this data simply in Gigasheet with a spreadsheet workflow. Because that's what they knew, that's what they love, and that's how people are using Gigasheet every day. If you're interested in learning more, please give us a shout, support@gigasheet.com. We hope to hear from you. Thanks.